What's happening? What's up? I'm Oman. Welcome to the channel. Now, before we get started, let's go ahead and get these pleasantries out of the way. If you like the content, even if you don't necessarily agree with me on this particular topic, let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's like it and go ahead and share it for me, please. All right, so we see the topic of discussion in the thumbnail. What we're going to talk a little bit about today, it's a subject that Russell Wilson and Ciara brought up. Would you marry you? All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and play this clip real quick. It's real brief, 50 seconds, and then we'll go ahead and just get into this topic.
So we're up in the car riding, and Wes is going to officiate a wedding today. One of his nearest and dearest people in his life. And we were having a conversation, and we asked someone in the car with us if they thought they would get married, and it took a long pause.
And he was hesitating his ass
He
off.
was hesitating. And then Russ said, what did you say? A guy, you should ask a guy.
I said, if you're a guy, you should ask yourself, would you marry yourself? If you're a woman and you could, if you could marry yourself, would you say yes to yourself? That's how you know if you're ready.
Would you marry yourself?
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
If you're not ready to marry yourself, you ain't ready to marry somebody else.
I like that. That's nice. It's good.
So there you go. There's the question. Would you marry you? Oftentimes we have people saying that I'm ready to be in a relationship. I'm ready to have my person. I'm ready to have all the love that is, destined for me. That if it's for me, that, I'll have it, whatever it's going to be. But then in the same sentence, you're going to hear a person say, if someone needs to accept me for who I am, that's just who I am. Or that you expect the person to, you know what, I could be a little bit sarcastic. That's just me. Yeah, I shut down, but it's better that I shut down rather than blow up. So you're saying that a person that is considering you for the rest of their lives, deal with this. Would you deal with it? And what this question is really asking you is, have you really worked on yourself? Are you someone that you can see yourself being with forever? A person shouldn't just take you for who you are. If you have spending issues, people don't want to get on the brink of bankruptcy and be financially, unstable because you can't control your spending. People want to continue to grow in their career. But if you're hopping from job to job to job to job, their growth, they still have to pull you up. No one wants to do that. No one wants to deal with a person that's sarcastic. When I come off work and I'm having a bad day, you think I want you to snap and say something snappy towards me? So if you wouldn't deal with this type of person, the issues and the flaws that you have, is it fair that you should expect someone to just deal with it? Because a lot of the issues that we have, we can correct them. We just choose not to. We feel like a person should just accept me. But after a while, I can't take but so much abuse from you. I can't take the fact that when I want to talk about our issues, you're going to go ahead and shut down because you don't want to blow up. Forget dealing with the anger issue. You feel as if suppressing your thoughts and your feelings is the answer, but that's not the way you deal with issues. And you're telling another person, deal with it. You want to be with me? You deal with this. Does that sound like somebody who's ready to be with someone for the rest of their lives? You may want companionship. You may want love, but it's a two-way street. And the thing that you can control more than anything else in this world is you. A lot of times you don't want nobody to say anything about the way you eat, the way you live. They should just, don't come at me that way. And it's not always about your body image, but your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 70s, health issues are going to arise. And being in a marriage, that's what you sign up for. You sign up for better and for worse. But if I'm strictly dating you, and I realize, oh man, she don't care about her health, I'm not signing up for someone that I can project that she's going to have issues. Not me. Why would I sign up for problems that I know are going to arise? These aren't issues that you're a human, you got ill. That happens. But you're a human and you chose to take no precautions. You chose to make no changes to your life, and I should be the one to suffer. All you care about right now is yourself. And that's not marriage. That's not a person that's ready for love. The first step you're going to have to hear over, the first thing you're going to hear over and over and over is work on yourself. If you know you're not really the most affectionate person in the world, that's not the way, that's just not who you are. Man, my homeboy told me that, he used to be, he's not really that affectionate. And we're not talking about, laying together in bed during sex. We're talking about that day-to-day interaction. He just wasn't that guy. Went to a counselor. Counselor told him, every time you think about you're around this woman, touch her in some way. Touch her on the leg, rub on the back. Do something to let her know that you're near her. And this went on for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Eventually, that's just who I am changed. Now I'm a more affectionate man. And I just gave that example, but that can happen in every avenue of your life. So if you're saying that you're ready for marriage, you're ready for love, have you put in the work with yourself to really be a suitable partner forever with someone else? Think about what that is. Forever. A person is going to have to deal with this flaw you have day in and day out. And what becomes small, and I can accept this from this person, eventually, now you're thinking they're trying to change you. Because, yeah, I thought I could tolerate you. I love everything else about you. But this right here, you're not even trying. You're not even trying to better yourself. So you know you better than anyone else. Start taking inventory. This is the things I need to work on. If I'm going to be an effective partner, I need to correct these things. But in another voice, as much as you may think you know yourself, sometimes it does help to get an outside person looking in. Because your friends, your family, sometimes you were raised in an environment. So what you think is correct, it's not necessarily the way that everybody else sees as a way that life should be lived. That's a mouthful. But you got to look at it like that. And what I'm saying is I always promote therapy. You go see a therapist, they give you hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, cool. But they set you on that couch. They may be able to fix issues that, you know what? It may take a year or two to get some things under control, but now I'm ready to be married. Now I would marry me. That's a question to ask yourself. Have I put in the work to be someone's forever? Could I deal with walking in and seeing me day in and day out and be content and happy? When I was 15 and 18 and I had visions of marriage, what I see in the mirror, is that what I envision? The person that I am, is I'm like, man, I wish my wife would treat me like this all the time. I wish my husband was this type of guy. So think about it. Have you put in the work to say, you know what? I'd be with me forever. If you haven't, that's okay. Just start taking the steps to improve on what you know you can fix. But then also, I want you to look at things in a different framework as well. Just because you can tolerate some things does not mean that the majority of the world can tolerate those things. Sometimes we grew up in a household where all we heard was arguing. So we can deal with that conflict. A lot of people don't want to hear that all the time. They don't want to hear nobody screaming at them every day. They don't want to hear you cursing at them. So again, you're looking at it like this. Marriage, relationships, they're picking you out of all these options. And just because they picked you, don't mean these options don't no longer exist. And because somebody wants to leave a toxic situation that you didn't work on, they're not wrong. It's your responsibility to work on yourself and be prepared for this relationship you said you want, this marriage you say you want. Now that you have that person that you prayed for, are you in position to love them the way they need to be loved? Because you worked on you. So now we ask that question again. Would you marry you? Are you the person that you prayed for? Someone that's kind and someone that's loving? Or are you expecting another person just to tolerate you, flaws and all? All right. Y'all know I don't like to keep it but so long, so that's the end of the video. It was a little bit longer because we threw in Ciara and Russell. But we're going to end this the way we started this. If you like the content, even if you don't necessarily agree with me on this particular topic, let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's like it and go ahead and share it for me, please.